One of the most intriguing concepts is the idea that the harder you try, the worse it gets. This principle, also known as the law of reversed effort, captures the essence of how overexertion and forceful striving can lead to failure, rather than success. The law of reversed effort highlights an important paradox. Striving too hard often leads to failure, rather than success. This principle suggests that when we become fixated on controlling an outcome, we tighten our focus so much that we lose perspective. And with that loss, our efforts become counterproductive. The harder we push, the more likely we are to make mistakes, miss opportunities, and ultimately undermine our goals. This law doesn't only apply to physical actions, but also extends to mental and emotional efforts. Obsessing over something, overthinking, or constantly forcing an outcome can actually prevent the desired result from manifesting. Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, fully grasped this idea, especially in the context of combat. In his iconic work, The Book of Five Rings, Musashi illustrates how the greatest fighters are those who remain fluid, adaptable, and calm under pressure. He understood that being overly aggressive or attempting to force a victory in a duel could lead to disastrous consequences. A fighter who is too intent on winning will often become tense and predictable, making themselves more vulnerable to defeat. Instead of forcing the fight to go in a certain direction, Musashi advises warriors to read the flow of the battle, react in the moment, and let the fight unfold naturally. This allows for sharper instincts and a broader view of the situation, rather than tunnel vision that only sees one path to success. Musashi's warning against overexertion resonates not only in combat but in everyday life. When we try too hard, whether in relationships, work, or personal ambitions, we may become so narrowly focused on one specific outcome that we blind ourselves to alternative solutions or opportunities. For instance, in a business environment, a manager who pushes their team to meet a certain goal with excessive pressure may create a stressful atmosphere that leads to burnout or errors. Ironically, the harder they push, the less likely the team is to perform well. Similarly, in personal relationships, constantly trying to force closeness or understanding can backfire, creating distance instead. This is why Musashi emphasizes the importance of balance between action and stillness, effort and letting go. It's not about a lack of effort, but knowing how and when to apply that effort wisely. In sword fighting, just as in life, there are moments when restraint is more powerful than aggression. By remaining relaxed and allowing things to unfold naturally, we are more receptive to the changing dynamics around us, whether it's a subtle shift in the opponent's movement or a new opportunity in a business venture. The principle of reversed effort is especially valuable in our modern world, where the culture often equates success with constant hustle, nonstop effort, and relentless striving. Musashi reminds us that true mastery comes not from relentless pushing, but from an awareness of when to push and when to step back. Whether you're an athlete, a professional, or navigating personal challenges, his teaching is a powerful reminder that less can indeed be more. By letting go of rigid expectations and trusting the process, we free ourselves from unnecessary strain and open the door to better outcomes and clearer insights. Relaxed control over rigid force. The principle of relaxed control over rigid force lies at the heart of Miyamoto Musashi's teachings on mastery, particularly his concept of no mind, or mushin. Musashi believed that to truly excel in combat or any challenge in life, a warrior must remain mentally free from distractions, fears, and rigid expectations. Mushin emphasizes acting instinctively, guided by years of practice and internalized knowledge, rather than becoming bogged down by overthinking or emotional attachment to the outcome. In battle, Musashi demonstrated how acting without attachment enabled him to flow with the situation, adapting to changes in his opponent's strategy with fluidity and precision. This calm state of mind contrasts with the tension and rigidity that often accompany excessive effort, which can narrow focus, increase anxiety, and lead to mistakes. For Musashi, remaining relaxed and instinctual was the key to staying agile, making swift decisions and maintaining control in unpredictable situations.
Whether you're facing complex personal relationships, tackling creative projects, a relaxed, mindful approach often yields better results than a rigid one. When we obsess over outcomes or try to force things into place, we make our own success. By embracing relaxing control, we allow for greater flexibility and responsiveness, which can help us better navigate the natural flow of events.
In business, for instance, leaders who apply the wisdom of mushin focus not on micromanaging every detail, but on trusting their team and remaining open to evolving situations. They are decisive, but they aren't attached to a singular plan. They adapt to market shifts and unexpected challenges. Similarly, in personal relationships, maintaining a sense of calm and letting go of the need to control every interaction often leads to more meaningful connections. Rather than trying to force closeness or agreement, allowing relationships to unfold naturally builds trust and deeper understanding. This concept is also central to creative endeavors. Artists, writers, and musicians often experience their best work when they are in the zone, a state of relaxed focus where ideas flow effortlessly. The harder we try to force creativity, the more elusive it can become. Musashi's teachings remind us that sometimes stepping back and loosening our grip on the creative process allows inspiration and clarity to emerge more naturally. Musashi's teaching on relaxed control parallels the broader Zen philosophy of effortless effort, or Wu Wei in Taoism. Wu Wei describes a state where natural actions flow from a place of ease and alignment with the present moment, rather than from strain or force. Much like mushin, Wu Wei emphasizes acting with purpose while avoiding unnecessary tension. It's about finding harmony with the task at hand, whether it's a complex business negotiation, artistic expression, or simply daily life.
When we try too hard, we often become fixated on a particular outcome, which can cause frustration and tunnel vision. Wu Wei encourages us to release that attachment, trusting that the right action will arise when we are in tune with the situation, not when we impose our will on it. By practicing relaxed control, we allow room for spontaneity, creativity, and effective problem solving. In both combat and life, overexertion leads to diminished returns. Musashi's emphasis on mental clarity, combined with his belief in relaxed yet purposeful action, offers a roadmap for dealing with the pressures of modern life. By letting go of rigid expectations and trusting in our abilities, whether in relationships, business, or personal challenges, we invite success to come through a state of calmness and natural flow rather than through forceful striving. Letting go for greater success, it is a core teaching in Musashi's philosophy that can be applied far beyond the battlefield. His principle of holding the sword lightly serves as a powerful metaphor for how we should approach both personal and professional challenges. Just as a swordsman loses agility by gripping their weapon too tightly, we too can lose our flexibility and adaptability when we become overly attached to specific goals, outcomes, or rigid methods. Musashi understood that clinging too hard to a particular path can hinder our success, whether in combat or in life. In a broader context, Musashi is teaching that letting go of rigid expectations opens up space for new opportunities and insights. This doesn't mean abandoning effort altogether. It's about applying measured effort and then trusting the process. When we stop obsessing over results or the right way to do something, we invite creativity and intuition to guide us. This is often why breakthroughs happen when we least expect them. Once the mental pressure is released, our minds and instincts are freer to explore new ideas and solutions. This concept is particularly evident in creative work. Writers, musicians, or artists often speak of flow, a state where creativity seems to pour out effortlessly. These moments rarely occur when one is trying too hard or forcing the process. Instead, they often emerge when the artist lets go of rigid control and allows their natural instincts and experiences to take over. By loosening the grip on their craft, they are able to produce work that is both authentic and inspired. Musashi's philosophy extends this wisdom to all areas of life. In business, for instance, leaders who micromanage or are overly fixated on a single strategy may miss out on innovative solutions that arise from collaboration or a change in circumstances. Letting go of rigid control doesn't mean lack of discipline. Rather, it's about having the wisdom to adapt and pivot when necessary, trusting that flexibility can lead to greater success. In personal relationships, the same principle applies. When we hold too tightly to our expectations of others, we may stifle the relationship. But when we let go of the need to control the outcome, we allow space for deeper connections and more genuine interactions. Applying Musashi's philosophy today. In personal well-being, a common example is the struggle with sleep. The more we stress about the need to fall asleep, the more elusive sleep becomes. This mirrors Musashi's teaching on letting go of forced outcomes. By trying to relax and accepting the moment as it is, we often find that sleep comes naturally once the mental pressure is removed. The same applies to mental health. Constantly pushing yourself to achieve or meet self-imposed standards can lead to burnout and anxiety. Stepping back, taking breaks, and allowing yourself time to recharge can lead to greater productivity and well-being in the long run. In relationships, people often try too hard to make things work, leading to unintended tension. Whether it's constantly seeking approval or controlling how interactions unfold, these efforts can stifle connection. Musashi's philosophy reminds us that stepping back and giving space allows for natural harmony to return. When we stop forcing things and allow them to unfold organically, relationships often improve, bringing about more genuine and less strained connections. In professional settings, the idea that over-efforting can backfire is especially applicable to leadership and productivity. Leaders who try to control every minute detail of a project or micromanage their team may think they're ensuring success, but they often create bottlenecks and frustration instead. In contrast, leaders who trust their teams and encourage autonomy typically see more creativity, innovation, and job satisfaction among their employees. This aligns with Musashi's teachings about trusting the process and focusing on the bigger picture rather than obsessing over every small step. Professionals who practice balance in their work life often find that breakthroughs happen when they step away from a problem or take time to reflect. Constant pressure to perform can stifle creativity. But when we allow time for relaxation and let go of the need for immediate results, solutions can emerge effortlessly. This echoes Musashi's belief in fluidity and adaptability, where forcing outcomes only leads to strain, but trusting the natural flow of events often brings success in unexpected ways. Musashi's timeless lesson to embrace effort without force offers a powerful guide for anyone navigating modern challenges. Whether it's in personal health, relationships, or professional settings, his philosophy encourages us to balance action with trust, discipline with ease, and ambition with the ability to step back and let things unfold.